Hey y'all, Matt here from RetroOnly.com. Today I'm going to be answering another question about the Nintendo Switch. And this is more of a general question that a lot of people have about the Switch. And that is whether the Switch is just a gimmick or is it actually a pretty decent console. If you haven't purchased a Switch yet, you might be hearing all sorts of people say that it's just a big gimmick and it's just Nintendo trying to be different from all the other consoles, or just them trying to make money by having something a little bit different. Is it really just a gimmick though, or is it a halfway useful console? And that's what the question I'm going to be answering in today's video. Before I hop into that, please be sure to hit that like button and then also subscribe to our channel, as it really does help us out a lot. It also helps other people have these exact same questions or problems, get them answered by our YouTube channel and by these videos that we make for you. So let's go ahead and hop into whether the Nintendo Switch is a gimmick or if it's actually a decent console or not. All right, so let's delve into this a little bit deeper on whether the Nintendo Switch is a gimmick or not. Of course, the answer to that is yes and no. Every product tries to have some sort of gimmick. If you go and buy a sports car, every single sports car manufacturer is going to have some sort of gimmick that they're trying to use to get you to purchase the car. Maybe they say theirs last longer. Maybe they say their 0 to 60 time is better. The same thing is true with all gaming consoles. You're going to have some talking about the frames per second, how theirs is better, how their load time is better, how their internet is faster, how their games are better. All of these sorts of things. And technically every one of them is a gimmick. Just like the Nintendo Switch has a little bit of a gimmick to it as well. The Switch's gimmick, however, is a little bit different. See, the Switch has a gimmick of being able to be used in two different ways. You can use it portably, which is just like this, as a handheld console. Or you can take it and you can put it in your Switch dock and you can play it on your TV, like the one here behind me. That is what many people refer to as the gimmick of the Nintendo Switch. But is it really a gimmick? Of course, the answer is sort of. It could be considered a gimmick because it's something different that they have. And of course, they push it as it's something that makes the Nintendo Switch unique. But I don't know that that makes it a gimmick in my opinion, because honestly, it's useful in both modes. I've used this Nintendo Switch on the TV and I've used it portably. And most of the time I prefer to use it on the TV, simply because I like the bigger screen. But I recently took a road trip cross country with my wife and my 3 kids. And while I was going cross country, they used this Switch and had tons of fun. They played their Lego games. They played Mario Kart. They had fun with the Switch while we were driving down the road. And that can only happen with this sort of console. A console that doesn't require you to have a giant TV. A console that doesn't require you to have any connections at all. You can literally pick it up and go. Now that could be considered a gimmick by some people because, oh, it's pick up and go and it's handheld and it's TV, whatever. But I love the fact that the Switch is able to do this. I can honestly tell you, now I'm not a huge fan of the current gaming systems, simply because they're in such shortage right now and they're so expensive, and a lot of people I know, they don't want to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars to get them since they're not being able to be sold for MSRP. The Switch is incredibly useful for people who are not big gamers. If you don't have hours and hours and hours to game, you will have no problem picking up a Switch and playing with it. You don't have to be a great, massive online gamer to enjoy the Switch, simply because you can play the sorts of games that I've mentioned here on this channel, like the Lego games, like Mario Kart, Mario Party, all those sorts of things. It's a really fun console to play with your kids, or even to watch your kids play, for them to kind of get their feet wet into video gaming. And that's where the Switch really comes in good. So is it a gimmick? The answer would be maybe. Every company tries to have a hook of some sort, some reason why they'll buy their console over the other people's console. Personally, I don't think the Switch is more of a gimmick in that it's actually useful for both. Now, if the Switch had a little projector on it that allowed you to play it on the wall and it was really hard to see, and of course that would just be really gimmicky. Wouldn't really work very well. But instead, the Switch is able to use both on and or off and on the dock. And so since you can use it in both of those locations, it really is helpful and useful for different situations. Coming up in just a couple of months, I'm going to take a family vacation. We're gonna go with a bunch of my siblings and my parents and my kids and my cousins and a bunch of different people. You know what I'm gonna bring? I'm not gonna bring my Xbox. I'm not gonna bring my PlayStation. I'm not gonna bring my N64. I'm not gonna bring my NES. I'm not gonna bring any of those things. You know what I'm gonna bring? I'm gonna bring my Nintendo Switch. The kids can play it on the road. I'm gonna bring the dock. We can hook it up to a TV when we get there, and we can play all the different games against all of our family members and friends with them. It's gonna be loads of fun. The only console I'm gonna bring, to be 100% honest, is the Switch. Whether you call that a gimmick or not, I don't know. But personally, I think the Switch is a great console that works extremely well as both a handheld and then also a TV docked device as well. Hope this video has been helpful to you. Again, my name is Matt from RetroOnly.com. Have a great day.